Hello, Business Finance 330 and 500D telepresence students. This is Mr. Hassey. It's Friday, November 15th, 2019, and I'm speaking to you this week number 8 of our class, live and in color from Business Finance Central in Claremont, California. I want to do a little video this week since we're not having class this Saturday. We have 2 more classes remaining. Next Saturday in Irvine, and with telepresence in Ontario and Bakersfield. And then our last class will be December 7th, Saturday, in Ontario, with telepresence in Irvine and Bakersfield. So I wanted to just go over those couple of those things because we haven't spoken in a while, and I want to make sure you guys don't forget who I am and what's going on in our class. And our big thing this weekend is posting assignment number 4. And this is assignment number 4 is split between our 2 classes. It's a capital budget analysis where you are to calculate the weighted average cost of capital and to calculate the capital budget cash flow and analysis of a return. And plus for the 330 people, some multiple choice questions. And for the 500D people, the MBA students, you have to do a sensitivity analysis. So I just want to go over that briefly. I know it's due tomorrow and most of you are doing your work, but just if you have any last minute questions, this might help. Also, if any of you need a couple extra days to complete your work and make sure it's finalized, just let me know and I can give you a couple extra days as long as we get it all done by early next week. So I have it graded before our class next week because you're going to have a final examination question in regards to this type of material. So in other words, what you need to work on is, first of all, in the capital budget analysis case, for everybody, you have to determine the weighted average cost of capital. You have to determine the number of years involved, 10 years, and determine the cash flow over those number of years. We can use the templates that we've talked a lot about in class as our templates, the weighted average cost of capital analysis, taking the capital structure and finding the after-tax cost of debt, and the capital asset pricing model cost of equity. We should all be able to know how to do that. We've discussed it in class and we've looked at samples. If any of you have any questions on that this weekend, let me know. In week number 6, in our last time we met, we looked at this spreadsheet, investment return analysis week number 6, which was posted to Blackboard. And in this was an example of determining the cost of capital, looking at the capital structure and the various cost and risk in the market to determine the after-tax cost of debt, and also doing the weighted cost of debt, taking into account the capital structure percentage of debt. Also, we learned about the cost of equity using the capital asset pricing model, taking the risk-free rate plus the market premium times the beta of the company, and then weighting that times the capital structure equity of the company to determine, add those 2 amounts, 10.8%. Then we took that into a capital budget analysis where we spread that out over a variety of years, very similar to this one, and determined our capital budget analysis. So these are all examples of areas that you can work on this weekend in assignment number 4 and use as your guide in doing the work. The only difference is in the MBA students, you will have to do a second part of the analysis. And again, we went over this by doing the sensitivity and the break-even analysis. This is to determine the selling price, variable cost, and fixed cost at different percentages, plus or minus 10, plus or minus 15, plus or minus 15, to determine how that changes the NPV and also establish a break-even analysis for assignment number 4. Again, this is determining another risk view of the project. Also, we need to concentrate on chapters 14, 15, 16, and 17 this week. I've given you in your introduction this week sections of those chapters to be looked at. We will review those sections next week in class, so please review them. Also, next week we're going to look at chapters 18, 19, and 20, and that is also in Blackboard in week number 9. I think the key thing that you need to do today and do to this weekend is finish up your assignment number 4. Make sure it's all clean and you have all the figures and calculations accounted for. And then begin to review chapters 14 through 20. That's going to be the main makeup of our final examination. This assignment number 3 and the chapters 14 through 20 is going to be the makeup of our take-home final examination. I will give you the final examination at the end of class next week. You have until December 11th to post it. Plenty of time. Thanksgiving break or Thanksgiving week, and then the first part of December. We will be meeting on December 7th for a final review of the final examination work. An extra session for some of us to go over any questions. Once you see the final examination, you'll understand why I'm having this session on December 7th. It's an extra session because the final examination is a combination of analysis and calculation. So you'll be doing interpretation of material, writing about that interpretation, commenting on that interpretation, and also doing a variety of calculations involving dividends, involving capital structure, involving working capital. All topics that we'll talk about in our class next Saturday. So I urge you all to prepare by looking at those sections, and we can go over those next week in class and begin the work on our final examination, which will be the last part of our class. Again, the final examination will be take home. You'll be getting it next Saturday, and then you'll be posting it by December 11th. Plenty of time to do that work. There's an excellent video this week called Corporate Financing Overview in week number 8 that I urge you to review. This is a good synopsis of the chapters 14 and 15, especially on how companies finance their operations. A very important one. We'll look at problems involving this. The problems are in your blackboard at the bottom of week 8, right here, these problems from your textbook. We will review these problems next Saturday in class. So here I am again. There I am. So a lot of material, but I think a lot of you have already posted assignment number 4, so clean that up this weekend. If you want to do any modifications, if you've already posted, that's fine. If not, I'll look forward to seeing you all next Saturday, live and in color in Irvine, and on the telepresence in Ontario and Bakersfield. And then also, please plan accordingly. December 7th, our final class, which will be in Ontario, which will be a final review and any open questions. That class on the 7th will probably only be a morning session, so we should be done no later than 1 o'clock on the December 7th, so some of you can plan accordingly. But that should, from 9 to 1 o'clock, should be enough to review and go over any last issues or questions involving the final examination work. And we will look at the final examination next Saturday afternoon as I distribute it. It's a lot of work. It's not meant to be a nice hour study. It's going to take you multiple hours to complete this work, but you have plenty of time to do it over the next few weeks. So I hope this updates everybody. If you have any questions, I'm around this weekend. Send any emails or text, and I look forward to picking back up and seeing you all again next Saturday. Any questions, comments, let me know. Thanks everybody. See you all then. Bye-bye.